Hi, everybody. Welcome to PoliTarology. It's Friday night, and I'm here with the gang, and we're all being very silly already. So it's bound to be a really good show. So we're just going to go around the circle. Everybody will say hello and tell us what's going on in their channel. And hello, and let's start with Val. Hi, Val.
Hello, Val, Dragonfly Crystals, Next Level Channeling. By the way, you can still sign up for my channeling class. Starts tomorrow, Saturday. Go to dragonflycrystals.store. Thank you.
Great. That's good. Anything else you want to say about your channel? Memberships, Patreon?
Oh, I have memberships. Sign up for that. What else do I have? I have many classes. If you want to go to dragonflycrystals.store, you can sign up for Akashic record readings. Anything that you want. I have mediumship as well. Thank you for your attention.
Great. And I can definitely recommend get a reading from Val, take her classes. They are all excellent. Shari, how are you? Hi.
Hi, I'm doing good. The date is set. I fly out to California on April the 10th. And I'll spend a couple of days in Palm Springs, and then we'll be driving back to Louisiana with several stops along the way. And tickled to death because just like Val got such a good deal on her travel plan cost.
Did. Yes.
I went in to go get tickets last night, and I wound up getting 2 one-way tickets for me and my son to fly into Palm Springs from our small airport to the Palm Springs airport.
Wow.
It was under $400 for 2 tickets.
Wow, that's great.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to upgrade to first class, it would only cost me like $100 more. I'm seriously considering it.
I would do it.
I've never flown
What's to consider?
Do that.
I've never done first class before. I was telling my boss this morning, I said, I'm going to take off these days because this is what's happening. And he was like, you have more luck than anybody I've ever known.
Do the first class, because by the time you pay for extra bag this and a drink here and a snack there, you want that other warm the first class, you get all that stuff. So
absolutely.
That's great.
He's going to bring like a carry-on bag with us, and because we're only going to be there for 2 days, and then the other 2 or 3 days going to be driving. So who cares what I look like? I'm going to be dressed to be comfortable. They'll be lucky if I'm not driving in my PJs.
That's great.
So I'm kind of scaling back on all my shows. I've been scaling back on scheduling people because I didn't know when I was going to go. Yeah. So now that I know when I'm going, I can start scheduling around it.
And what's the date again? When are you flying out?
We're leaving April 10th. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so we'll arrive like around 11 a.m. Wednesday morning, and then spend a couple of days out there and then drive. It's just I-10 all the way,
There you go.
But you could stop in Henderson and say hi to Val.
I didn't know if you were going to be there or not, so that's why
I will be here.
Okay, so then we can do that. Then we'll have to work out maybe a halfway point.
That is very.
What are you doing, Shari?
Actually, you go right by here.
Okay.
Shari,
we'll have to talk. I don't know. I just know I-10. I don't know any other ways. I'm sorry. What, Cleo?
are you going there to pick up a car? Is that what you're going?
I am going there to pick up a car that I have been gifted by one of my members. Technically not a member. I don't have my memberships open yet, but a strong supporter, so to speak. And I got a call about a month ago saying, do you still need a car? And I'm like, yes, I do.
And it's the kind of car that goes with first class. You need the first class ticket to go with the car.
Because he's given me a Mercedes. Which I've never, I was like, oh my God.
It's like going from
what's their name?
It's like going from a horse and buggy to, a Bentley or something. It just, Because when he first told me it was a Mercedes, I just said, "Oh," I said, "Now this looks funny." I said, "Really? What kind of car is it?" "No, it's a Mercedes."
Wow.
When I told my boss that this morning, I thought he was going to fall out of his chair. He was like, "I can't believe this." I said, "That's how I felt."
Well,
And
that's great.
it's a 2004, so it's a 20-year-old car, but it's only got 100,000
20
miles.
years on a Mercedes is like it's only 20 years old. It means it's really 20 years, and it has till 150
Yeah,
years old.
My boss said the same thing. He was like, "Oh, you'll get another 20 years out of that easy."
Oh, you easily.
And I said, "Good. I will be able to
Easily.
afford another car for 20 more years." But I'm very, very humbled and very, very blessed, and very extremely grateful and thankful. Just everything just kind of lined up and fell into place. And I was chatting with the person last night, and next thing I know, he's like, "Okay, well, I'm looking at flights on here. It'll be cheaper if you fly on this day or this day." I'm like, "Okay, well, which one works for you?" Because I'm accommodate your schedule here, and we'll take it from there. And so that's what we're doing. So I went with leaving on the Wednesday because it was like $100 a seat cheaper than leaving on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure.
Midweek is always the cheapest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And of course, we had to be at the airport at 5 a.m. But
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I won't sleep the night before. I'll sleep on the plane."
Yeah.
And so
Aw.
maybe I will upgrade to first class
You
so I
should.
can sleep on the plane.
You deserve it. You really deserve
Yeah,
it.
it'll be fun.
Before we go on to
Thank you.
Cleo, I just want to put up Pisces. Wait, where did it go? There we go. Pisces greeter TK. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Teresa.
Teresa! Yay!
Wow.
My gift is I
Happy
won't sing.
birthday.
Blessings, blessings, blessings to you. Thank you for tuning
Oh,
in.
my
That's really,
goodness.
really nice.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
All right. Thanks for being with us. Okay, Cleo, what's going on with you?
Well,
Your turn.
on Monday I have caffeinated and unfiltered, and there's a few of you that will be doing that show on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Gerald creation or
Yeah.
TarotStache creation.
Mhm.
Then on Thursday I've got Golden Girls. Yay!
Yep.
Shari and Val will be on that. And then on a week from today, we've got the Cool Crone Oracle on Friday, which we've done one of those. So that's a newer show for Colleen, and it really went well. So I maybe it was beginner's luck, but we'll find out. I don't think so. I think
We'll
it's just
find out.
Luck had nothing to do with it. It's skill, and it's the fact that somebody created like the perfect mix.
Yes.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do, folks?
Yeah.
Hey, Gerald, tell us what's going on for you. Thank you, Cleo.
I'm TarotStache, and I actually have this great thing about Ostara, or the spring equinox, on Sunday afternoon. Yeah, a couple of witches are getting together, and be careful because you never know what those witches are going to do.
And everybody better subscribe to Gerald's channel.
And I do have a lot of shows coming up.
Watching and learning.
Yes, I do have a lot of shows coming up, and one of the things that is happening is on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I am doing a Tarot the Stash Way, and Jeffrey's Voice is going to be joining me, and we are doing a Tarot Q&A. So if people have questions about tarot, you've got people who are going to be we'll deal with it. We'll answer it. So,
And when is that again? Monday?
that is Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So in between my other 6 shows on Monday. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is
So.
that it?
Oh, I've got lots of stuff coming. I mean,
You just don't want to bore us with it, right?
well, I don't. I can say please like and subscribe because I do post everything there, and there we go.
Well,
You
can
know,
I mention one thing I forgot?
Yeah, sure, Shari.
Sunday, I am co-hosting with Amy Warrior Princess St. Patrick's Day party.
Oh yeah.
She's been wanting to have a St. Patrick's Day parties, and she asked me to help her. So I've been helping her put all that together and everything. So that'll be Sunday, and I forget what time.
It's at 2 because I couldn't make it because I'm going to be on with Gerald right at 3, so I'm going to be getting ready for that show.
Okay.
You know, and I had this strange thought. Eventually, I'm going to get to 2,000 subscribers, and maybe I'll give some free readings away. But
Ooh,
that'd be great.
We'll see.
I better subscribe to your channel then.
Well, I'll subscribe to you if you subscribe to me. Right now, I've only got 10 subscriptions to you, so I can make it. I can add 3 more, so it's 13.
I think
The
if
last
people
time I looked, I was like 7 or 8 away from my 2,000. But
well,
I couldn't tell you
you
what it is.
subscribers out there, you can be creative. If you have dogs or cats or even fish or birds, you can get them a little YouTube account, and just go ahead and subscribe. There's nothing like that.
It's not all about the subscribers. It's not all about the subscribers.
I'm only 3 away from 2,000.
You don't say. You don't say.
You're only 3 away from 2,000. Is that what you said, Shari?
Only 3 away.
Cool.
I'm at.
I think it could probably
I
happen.
just went and looked. I'm at 1897.
I think by the end of this show, you'll be there.
Yes.
Well, I'm
And
way
then
below
I'll-
everybody, so I
I'll
definitely
be
need
giving stuff away.
subscribers.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So please come and subscribe to my channel because these people have thousands of subscribers. I don't. I have hundreds. So
We've all been there.
Oh my God. Well, have you looked today to see how many subscribers you have?
well, it hasn't changed for a while, so I think it's still 700 and some. So
Well, let's go see,
We're
Cleo.
almost there.
Let's see.
I hung around that 700-800 mark for what
What did
ever before it went up.
what did you think it was, Cleo?
700 and something.
745. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, that sounds about
Okay.
right.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it hasn't changed. Actually, it was more than that by 4 or 5, and then every time I looked at it, it would come down another one.
Yeah,
That happens.
it
That
happens all the
It
time.
goes up and
down.
down.
People
Yeah.
are funny like that.
Yeah.
So
All
yes,
right.
I need 1,000. So go ahead, everybody. I know you got nothing else to do. Just run to my channel and subscribe.
Yes, please do that.
Yes.
And
So,
hit Val's channels while you're at it.
well, and just so everybody knows, a link to each one of our channels, including both of Val's channels, Val's over here, including both of Val's channels, the links are all in the description box from the Cool Crone. You're welcome.
And from
Thank
Voices
you.
from the Swamp.
Thank you.
So what do you have coming up on
Yeah.
your channel, Colleen? The Cool
Well,
Crone?
my kitty just came up on my channel. That's the first thing. And is going to lay right down where I'm going to do cards. This is why I had to buy a lint roller for my desk. Who does that? But
I
I
have
did
one
it.
of those too.
Yeah, man, it's necessary because she gets hair all over the place. So tomorrow I'm on with Gerald. We're going to be discussing Ostara
Sunday.
Sunday. And Monday we have a caffeinated and unfiltered. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. I have a bunch of stuff going on. Friday is going to be the Cool Crone Oracle. And I think I'm on with somebody next week for something. Let me just see really quick. 'Cause I think I'm doing something. I want to caffeinated. Nope. I just have my massage with Greg, and then I have to have blood work on Thursday. That's all. I'm not doing any shows then.
Well, isn't your goal to get to how many subscribers by a certain amount?
5,000 subscribers, and the deadline is next Thursday, the 21st. So I have a little ways to go, folks. If we could please get some more subscribers. I think I need, what do I need? Let me go to my channel and see what the number is. And the number is, I can't tell from here. Why do you have to go do the hard part when you're trying to be in a hurry? So I'm at 4,629.
Wow.
I have a little ways to go. So I don't,
We
I
could
mean,
work it.
if 300 and a few people want to go and subscribe to my channel, I would be extremely grateful. Extremely grateful.
There you go.
Okay.
Kim E just subscribed to everyone. She just says she subscribed to all of us.
Who was that?
Kim
Kim,
E.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Kim
you
E.
so much. I appreciate that. I really do.
You.
Yeah.
So I'm Colleen Pearl, the member of the Dark Brandon fan club, and you missed out on his wonderful speech. Shame on you, because it was fantastic. I laughed, I cried, I jumped up and down. I mean, it was a really, really good State of the Union speech. One of the better ones. I didn't fall asleep. I didn't look at my watch and go, God, when is this over? Very exciting. Very, very exciting. And then Mr. Schumer made quite the impassioned speech about Israel stopping the nonsense, and he wants Mr. Netanyahu to step down. Yay, Mr. Schumer. Thank you so much for that. That's really, really nice. Let me see. Where's my headlines here?
One
So
due to another.
what? Yeah, well,
One due to another.
and that's what he said in the speech. He's like, I am a Jewish American, and I really think that what you're doing is dumb, basically, is what he said. And with you at the helm, we're never going to get to a two-state option. So you need to step down because you're really part of the problem. Very, very different tone from Mr. Schumer. So, all right. So with all of our housework out of the way, maybe we should all introduce who we're a fan of. TarotStache, who are you a fan of?
I'm a fan of Kamala because she is more powerful than Katie Britt. Duh.
Oh, where's my fan? That was definitely that. Yes, that definitely deserves a flap. Oh my gosh. And Val, who are you?
I am Dragon Jack Smith fan. Jack Smith, DOJ.
Yes,
He's gonna bring it.
Yeah.
He is. Dragon. Go
He
Dragon.
doesn't let go and he breathes fire. Watch out. Because you do not want to get in his way.
Yeah. And Cleo, who's your fan club?
Well, I'm all for Jacked Up Joe. Ever since his speech, people are calling him Jacked Up Joe, and I love that. And we need to keep thinking of him as Jacked Up Joe. So, also, I was wondering, are we taking questions from the chatters about politics today?
Well, I have the headlines from the New York Times. They're welcome to put a question into the chat if they think that we're going to miss that topic. I'm happy to look at them, but usually we go with the headlines unless something just jumps out and we all go, oh no, let's read on that. Yeah. So they can put stuff in the chat. No guarantees that we'll read on it, but they can certainly put it in the chat.
I have to put this up.
It's more powerful. Oh my God.
And for that, I will get one of these.
Yeah, I'm going to step away now.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice. That was very nice.
Oh,
Shari, who are you a fan of?
I put Cool Camel Joe because with all that's happened this past week, I started thinking about the old Camel cigarette ads, and they had the camel whose name was Joe, and he was perceived as being Cool Joe. And so I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. I'll be Cool Camel Joe.
And he also wore aviators from time to time.
He did, yes. He wore those sunglasses. So,
He did.
just goes, that's one of these.
Just once, I'd love to see our president, instead of saying, yeah, I did that, just go,
yeah, exactly.
Just once. That'd be enough for me. All right. So if you all tuned in and you watched the State of the Union, then you may have caught maybe a couple of nanoseconds of the Republican rebuttal by none other than Katie Britt, who before that moment nobody had ever heard of, but apparently she's a senator. She's not even a congressperson. She's a senator, and she was in her kitchen, and Now, I think she was universally panned by both Republicans and Democrats. And what effect do we think that her speech had on the Republican Party?
Oh, I know.
Go right ahead.
Complete embarrassment is the
Yeah.
effect it had on the Republican Party. They are just like cringing.
And is it any coincidence that Mr. Buck decided to step down after that speech?
No.
I don't know. He might have been planning to do that no matter what.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been on too many like talk shows and everything lately. You kind of knew that something was up because didn't a couple of the other ones did that too. The senators, not the Congress people, but senators, like they love to go on the morning shows and come out real critical, and then 5 days later they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm retiring." You know.
Oh,
And they don't speak their minds until they're retiring.
And did you see Saturday Night Live with where they had Katie, whatever her name is?
Scarlett
And she
Johansson.
almost looked like her too. And I'm just like, oh God, did they actually put her on there? No. They're just making her look stupid. Like she hadn't looked stupid enough. But
Yeah, they wanted to show her the door. They were so embarrassed. They feel like it got them into the hot springs. Russia's got their hand in everything, but it's actually a gift to us. Thank you for that beautiful gift. It keeps on giving.
Much like the naked man. I mean, everyone saw that the emperor had no clothes.
Oh,
Well, it certainly laid an egg.
it laid an egg.
And there's people are seeing the emperor without clothes, and ain't no smoke gonna make this go away.
No. So I got that they really tied themselves up in knots in this one. They
Mhm.
just they kind of walked into the jail and pulled the door shut behind them, basically.
Without the keys.
They're deluded. They have no idea what's really going on, and they don't know where to turn. They don't know how to get out of this mess. And we have another question coming up on, there are some senators, especially that are trying to forge a different path, a more, shall we say, Mitt Romney style path that is more moderate, middle of the road, not so MAGA. But it's probably not going to work because the Trumpster appears to have an iron grip on the whole party. And so the result for us is the Democrats, they're ecstatic. The Democrats are loving it. They're just like, great. They're winning everything.
I love it.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
You cannot make this
Just back to Colleen.
It's certainly a gift.
Gift, rainbow,
Such a gift.
celebration.
3 of Cups. Yep.
I think the phrase yippee-i-o-ki-yay comes to mind.
Followed by Mother F and fill in the blank.
This is slightly off track, but it's still. Beth just put in something from CNN that was posted 2 minutes at 7:02. Mike Pence announced he cannot endorse Trump.
Yeah, I saw that in my Instagram feed. Yeah. I thought that happened a few days ago. I didn't realize that was just today.
Like just recently. It's like boom.
I can't believe I'm not on top of it.
It's not going to help him any, though.
I'm sorry, Cleo?
It's not going to help him. There's
Help
nothing,
who?
but I do love it that he did say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we all know that the orange one is just going to implode before we even get to an election day. So there's no big chance of him winning. But I feel like the poor Republicans, they're just like, no port in the storm. I'm sorry, Shari, go ahead.
No, I was just saying,
That's exactly right.
jumped out. It was just a 10 of
The
wands.
big burden they're carrying because
They got a big burden they're carrying there. So
Well, and I think they feel like they're carrying everybody's water but their own.
Yeah.
You know, like they all got to carry Trump's water, and then Walt Nauda's carrying his water, and then they can't carry the Speaker of the House's water, and then you know, like they're just, you know, it's so terrible.
Well,
it's so mixed up.
Well, the big, you know, the thing, Colleen, the thing about the GOP getting Lara Trump to be one of the persons that a co-chairman of that whole organization is their downfall. Mark my words again. I'm just going to say it right out loud here and now. This will be their downfall.
Yeah. Agreed. And
For
isn't it
sure.
interesting? I'm sorry, I'm jumping on you again, Shari. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. No, I just was jumping on to what Val was saying. I pulled the top card. It was the Two of Swords. I went, okay, well, that goes right along with what Val was just saying. So
It's true.
True. But you notice that they have the guy who nobody can remember his name, isn't it? Walt something starts with an L. So nobody can remember his name. He's really supposed to be, they keep saying the head or whatever. But just today, 2 different stories I saw on Lara Trump, they call her the chairwoman. I thought Romney McDaniel was the chairwoman.
She stepped down.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
My point is, I thought that Lara replaced her.
Oh,
But
yeah.
really, Lara is the second. She's the deputy, but they keep calling her the chair.
Interesting.
So the guy is just, I don't know, is he just there to tell her?
Arm candy.
Well, no. I think he's there to tell her what an election is.
Wow.
Oh my God. Well, they did say she has no education beyond being married to a Trump. So
Also they will be telling her what Congress and the Senate are. And what people, but here's the thing, if they're going to put all the money into Trump, then she doesn't really need to know what other people run for.
No.
Because clearly she doesn't give a shit.
She's not giving any money to anyone else, so it won't matter.
She's already come straight out and made an announcement to the whole group that every penny that came in was going to her father-in-law, and if anybody had a problem with it, bye-bye.
This is called putting your eggs. Yeah, putting your eggs all in one basket. The Trump basket, and what's going to happen to the Trump basket? Their eggs are all going to get smashed. So
if there's any maggots out there that are wondering what it will be like when Mr. Trump is president again, this is what it's going to be like.
This is what
the RNC. He's just going to.
He will drain the country dry of everything he can. He will take away their Social Security and their Medicare, and so they will be destitute and on the streets unless they have some rich family member that's willing to take them in and listen to their crazy crap. It's I mean, we think prices are high now. You want to talk about quadrupling that or more?
There's only one good thing out of all of this. We won't have to worry about what he steals from the White House because he's never going to leave. So he won't be taking things with him. Just so you know.
Yeah, and really, since we all know in reality that this is just not going to happen. I mean, even if it takes divine intervention, I mean, nobody is going to allow the country to be run again by Donald Trump. It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Somebody asked about when's he going to implode, and I don't know exactly when, but it's coming up. As much as he's
already happening.
He's getting worse and worse. He's just. He's really getting panicky, and with all the money that's going out the door and all the thing, if he can't fix something with this Jean Carroll thing, I mean, besides his wife, everybody is looking around like, well, wait a minute. Are they saying he raped a woman? Yes, that's what they're saying. Please understand. That's exactly what happened. And you cannot have a rapist in the White House amongst all the other criminal things he's done. But he is going through he's just beginning into that because he's getting so freaked out and paranoid. every time you see him, he's got the sweaty, greasy looking
Yeah.
face.
Very
and-
desperate right now.
Yeah,
Very
that's the word, desperate. He is really desperate right now, and he's doing rallies where he's rambling on for like 2 hours, and he's making no sense, and he's
None.
no facts.
And they're locking the doors so people can't leave because they were getting up to leave at 10 minutes into his speech.
Oh, you're kidding! I didn't know
I
that.
know, I read
Lord.
that.
Wow.
That
I
breaks
read
a
that
lot of
somewhere,
laws.
like yeah, talk about let the fire marshal hear about that one.
Well, don't forget, Bonnie is off. She's off the hook now, and all she has to do is get rid of Junior, and she's
he's
good to
already
go.
stepped down.
So, let's just say that's another nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Do we know for sure that Fonny? I mean, has the
Yeah.
judge?
Oh, yeah.
There.
Yeah,
The choice is
announced it
you
today.
Bonnie has a choice to step down and all her entire crew step down. Well, that's not going to happen. Her second choice is to get rid of
Wade.
period.
The
End of
boyfriend?
subject. Nothing else is touched except those few, I think seven,
counts.
6 or 7 counts
6 counts that were taken off.
that they can come back with more evidence on and refile it.
Mhm.
They have
But
like 3 months.
you guys are saying the boyfriend is not there. Is that who you're talking about? That
Yeah.
stepped in?
He
Well, no,
the
she has
former
she has to officially let him go.
or he
Well, no, he
stepped
did.
down.
I just read that he did step down.
Okay,
Oh,
he
okay.
stepped
Yeah.
down.
Okay, so
So
that's
it's a done deal. And
okay. So it's
so-
done. So she's in there fine.
yes.
There you
and
go,
so-
Connie B. She's got it for
well, there
you.
must be even more sweat on Trump's brow right about now.
And you know what I'm seeing, and maybe this is just me seeing something that's like in another dimension or something, but I'm seeing a vein in his head that is like bulging, like there's a big bulge, and I think it's on this side. I think it's on his left side, a big bulge, like it's like if you were gonna have like
Like
a
he's waiting for it to
thrombosis or
burst.
something. Yeah, like it's gonna burst. It's like when a
Yeah.
python swallows an egg. It's that kind of shape. That's
Yeah,
what
wow.
I get.
Oh, that
I
might
mean, my
be
mom had a
something.
brain aneurysm,
Yeah.
which they believe is what brought on the dementia so early in her life.
Oh.
But when she had an aneurysm, and it didn't burst; it just sprung a leak,
Uh,
is how they put it, and it
Oh.
literally dropped her to the ground. I mean, I
Yeah.
got a phone call. Oh my God, your mom fell out
Yeah.
on the floor. And I mean, they did at the time, it was experimental. And now, because she was part of that research group, it's common surgery of how they dealt with it. But
Mhm.
fortunately, they didn't have to like drill a hole in her head or anything. They had other ways to deal with it. That
Mhm.
was very successful, but it was really, really scary because
How was she after? Did she have any debilitation or
no,
was she
she was home 2 weeks later.
okay?
I mean, when she went into Barrow's Neurological
Mhm.
Institute there in Phoenix, and they're telling me she's going to be in ICU for 3 to 6 weeks, and
Mhm.
then into rehab, and then it'll be 6 months before she comes home. 2 weeks later, she was home.
Good.
Wow.
They couldn't keep her in the bed. She made them put her IV stuff on a pole with wheels, and she'd go cruising around all the other rooms, visit all the other patients.
It's really lucky that it didn't burst because if it burst, you're a goner.
Yeah. They said if it had burst, it would have killed her because of where
Yeah,
it was
you're done.
at. And
You have an aneurysm.
but and every time I see that on him,
Yeah.
it makes me think of my mom's aneurysm, and
Yeah.
that I mean, if
Well,
that burst,
he thinks
It's-
these rallies that he's having. The reason he spent 2 hours and apparently did lock the door so people couldn't get out is that's what's feeding him.
Yeah.
That's what keeps him going.
Right.
Is all these people listening to his complete garbage bullshit
Yeah.
that make they're just continual lies. And every time he comes out and does another rally, the press is starting to finally do the right thing and say this was incorrect, that was incorrect. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And yes, his appearance, there's just something really wrong with it. Because at first I thought, well, maybe it was just that one time. It's every time I see him now is that
Yeah.
greasy, sweaty. Plus, he's got that continual pouty look on him. I mean, he is totally a different man than he was in 2016.
Yeah.
So,
And
This is what's inside Broken Heart and the Baby Angel. So,
yeah. And that sweatiness, that sheen is not a sweatiness like a heat sweat. It's a cold sweat. It's like a sheen that's a sign of certain illnesses too.
And
Or
his
heart,
and his
bad
poor health.
heart,
I mean,
yeah, right.
you know,
Yeah.
look at what he eats, and
Yeah. I know.
I'm sure his heart is doing double time. Trying to
yeah.
Really bad.
Right.
You know, it's it doesn't matter what cards I threw. He's a mess. Okay.
I have to ask a question. I need to verify this. Did Cleo just say bullshit and it's not even a caffeinated and unfiltered? Is that true, Cleo?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
You got
Coming out
to
of that sweet, innocent face, I didn't even catch it because
Cleo, you got to put $1 in the swear jar. Go do it. Do it now. Do it. Mom will know.
There you go.
Well, please, we really dragged that one out. It's already 35 minutes in, and we're only on the first question. Wow. Okay. So I'm moving us along. I'm sorry, you guys. I know you're having fun. And before I move us along, I have a couple of little things that I wanted to put up on the screen that I saw here that was really sweet. This is for Shari. This is like a fairy tale for grown-ups. First class on a Mercedes, bippity boppity boo.
There you go.
Right? But wait, there's more. Luna Sparkle says, I was just daydreaming about a patron gifting a Mercedes to their inspiration 2 or 3 days ago. How interesting. So glad it happened to you.
I think the whole community was helping you, Shari.
Right?
I mean, it's what, 2 years of manifesting, trying to get a damn decent car.
Well, you finally got it right. That's
finally,
great.
yeah.
That's great.
Awesome.
It finally got to the point when I just threw my hands up and said, okay, fine, I will drive this eyesore that is just being held together with duct tape and baling wire. I'm serious. If y'all saw the car I was driving in the shape it was in, all of you would be like, they let that on the road. Yeah, I live in the South. There's
wow. Wow.
Well, the main thing is you'll be coming home in a Mercedes. So we're all very happy for you. All right. So let's move along here, folks. Finally get on to question number 2. And it's only 37 minutes in.
Oh, well, okay. So we're running a little late.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So the House wants to ban TikTok. And Trump is opposing that because, well, we all know why. So can we just, what do we think the future of this ban for TikTok is? What do we think is going to happen with that?
Well, besides just the ban, does anybody really think that TikTok is trying to gain information that would be helpful to, who is it, China? Is that?
Yeah.
That they would be trying to somehow manipulate things or gain secret information. I mean, all they have to do is write to Trump or just give him a call and he'll hand over any secret information he has. So
that is true.
Wow.
I don't think they really need TikTok to do that.
We've got Cleo Unleashed tonight, Gerald. Deal with it.
So the Congress or Senate or somebody, didn't they interview the guy who owned TikTok? And he's not from China.
Yeah.
He's from Singapore, Myanmar, something.
Yeah,
other country.
An Asian country, but not.
But he does have Chinese backers. He does have Chinese investments. Yeah. As well as they understand methods. Yes, this is true, Beth. This is true. And that's a very apt analogy. That's about right. But so I'm shuffling cards, and what jumps out? Page of Cups. They're a bunch of little kids. They just don't.
And Yeah, and they're going to find their true north, and it's got nothing to do with TikTok being here or not being here. It's not going to fly anyway because they're just not. It's not a deal, not a big deal. No matter how much they make it a big deal.
9 of Cups reversed. It's all about self-serving things.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
distracting them
Yeah.
from what's really important, what they should be truly looking at.
I love
Well, and
that.
also there's a lot of people. Go ahead. Sorry, Shari.
Yeah, I've got the 8 of Swords. They feel like they're bound up. They can't. I don't understand their thinking anymore. I really don't.
Well, and a lot of people use TikTok for they make some kind of business out of TikTok. They use TikTok for their business. So I don't really think it's a good thing to ban it. And I'm still trying to figure out, is that the only purpose to ban it? Is that they think that they might use it against them?
Well, they think they collect consumer data and that data can be used to, in many different ways, manipulate our economy, manipulate our political leanings, many different ways they can use that data.
And all the Swifties are on TikTok. So,
All the who?
All the Swifties are on TikTok.
Do you know how many people are on TikTok? Literally half of the population of the United States in the United States are on TikTok.
I put videos on there almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that the problem I have is if they do have Chinese investors, but the Chinese are not the owners. It's that guy from wherever he is from. Yeah. But the problem with the Chinese investors is, in China, they have kind of bookmarked every citizen in the country. They have their iris scans, their fingerprint scans. They know the equivalent of whatever their social security number is, their name, their address, their phones, everything. They have got it locked down. They can follow people. They can with like traffic cams, they can follow people in the streets and they know who every single person is in the picture.
They do the same thing here.
But they don't. Do they have? Well, with the cell phones, but that's different. They got to reach out and look at the data on the cell phones. It's not like they can see a picture of people in Times Square in New York and identify every single person. If that were the case, then all the 2,000 people who were at Jan 6 would already be in jail.
Yeah.
Right. So we're not nearly as 1984 as China is.
Yeah.
China is
a TV show that was on about 10, 15 years ago called Person of Interest that dealt with that very thing, and it's weird because I look back now and think about it. It's like that television show was calling stuff out that back then everybody was laughing at, saying would never happen.
Oh, look at the Jetsons, look at Star Trek, look at Lost in Space, look at Planet of the Apes. Actually, look at all of them. It's all the future, and we're living some of that future right now. But that's what I worry about. TikTok is the control, because we have a madman who wants to control us all the time. Now he's saying he's for TikTok because there's an investor who he likes, who is part of TikTok, or he's an investor in TikTok also, and he's backing Trump. He's giving donations to Trump. So I don't like an authoritarian from our country getting in bed with those authoritarian tendencies of China. Yeah. I think that's a little scary. Even if he doesn't become president, that's scary.
I think there's a little bit different way to handle this. Plus, there's other social media that is maybe, I don't know, is TikTok like the most popular of all the social media?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's what they're afraid of, is that, that they're just too popular. Well, I think that they need to not. The other thing I didn't get was, we'll let it go. We won't ban it if you sell it or something. What are they talking about?
They're talking about allowing investors who are not Chinese, like American investors, getting in on TikTok. Yeah. So basically, they're saying, just give it to us. We don't like you. We don't. If you want to be in our country, you just have to give it to us. So we make the money. So we can track our people.
Excuse me.
Do that.
Bullying tactics are the GOP speciality.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I just couldn't believe that. Like, well, we're going to ban it, but we won't if you sell it. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. How does that change the fear that we all supposedly, or they all have, of
Well,
TikTok?
this is why actually they're not that good at the bullying tactics, because they're way too obvious and they don't want to give anything in return. So they're not very good at this.
10 years ago, when Twitter was first blowing up and becoming popular, that's all you heard people talking about. You know, oh my God, it's tracking you. It's this, it's that, it's the other.
yeah.
And then they came out with TikTok, and somebody created that, and Elon bought Twitter and destroyed it. So, you know.
Well, maybe Elon is trying to buy TikTok.
Just another company he can drive down into the ground. You know?
Maybe that's the reason why he drove Twitter X into the ground, is so that he could be the investor in TikTok. And TikTok would be the only platform, and he'd be the owner of it.
Jeff Bezos already has that locked up, along with
Jeff Bezos has it.
What does he have locked up?
Google.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Elon Musk
Google
is
and Amazon. I mean,
yeah. I don't think Elon is a real person. I think he is a hologram of TikTok. And that's why everything he does just fails, because you can't have a hologram owning that.
There is something plastic going on. So it's, there's something like that. Yes.
He's not
So
quite.
it's,
He's not
or
quite
he's an
real.
alien that hasn't integrated all the way. I don't know which. He needs to go back in his pod and finish developing. I don't know.
There was something we were talking about just a minute ago about it's not going to happen. And I was it just about Donald Trump not getting in? But I think that galactics are going to prevent him from being elected too. I think they're actually watching it because
I know they are.
Yeah.
So
When they're not laughing their asses off. Yeah, I'm sure. You know.
They've got the popcorn out.
the whole thing about TikTok, what was the original question? Are they going to get rid of it? Are they going to ban it?
Yeah. Are they
So
going to?
please, everybody get your cards out, because
Well, I got my cards out, but it looks like Trump doesn't get what he wants. So here's the poet, who's all like, it's either get rid of or love it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the baby angel showing that it's going to die next to Trump.
Ooh.
And here's the dumpster.
The ban is going to die next to Trump, or TikTok's going to die?
No, the ban.
Mm-hmm.
The ban is not going to do what Trump wants it to do. His ideas are going. And this baby angel looks very suspiciously hugging 45 a lot today.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm sorry, my dogs went crazy.
Is the ban, are they going to actually be able to ban TikTok, or what's going to happen with this?
Gotcha.
So
I really don't think they can ban TikTok because it's not really constitutional.
Well, no, they can. I mean, in Europe, they ban lots of social media. They absolutely can if they want to. But look at the weirdo cards I got. I got the 3 of Swords. So somebody's going to be very brokenhearted about all this. And I'll tell you in a minute who it's going to be. We got the Tower reversed. So it's not going to happen right away. This is going to be one of those things like a car accident in slow motion. Like we're just going to be watching it for a really long time. And the whole time we're just going to be going, this is horrible.
And what just flashed into my mind is Brexit, and how the UK is still suffering from Brexit, like that long withdrawal, the many years of withdrawal. And then, holy shit, we have withdrawal, and we have a terrible economy.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Go ahead. You guys. Well, okay. The last card I got was the moon. So there's stuff going on. That's Elon Musk. He's going to be living in the hollowed out moon. But I just tell me what you guys got, because I just got it's long, it's drawn out, it's excruciating, but they're going to do their damnedest to try to do this.
Sorry, I have to cover her boobies so they don't ding you.
World.
It started out with the world
Mm.
because it's going to affect the world. But then I got the devil because who else is the GOP going to be attached to but the devil?
Yeah.
Ending with the Wheel of Fortune. So they're just spinning their wheels and seeing if it's going to come up.
I think there's too many
But
people
bases or
invested in
come
it in the United States, in their businesses, in so many different ways that there's no way it's going to fly because there's some big money in there, big
Yeah.
money,
Mhm.
and it's going to
just
die.
about every business that has
Yeah.
any type of social media foothold has
Yeah.
something happening on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean,
Money, yeah, money.
Gerald, what do you have?
This is totally immature. This is the Fool reversed. It's it's actually they're gonna lose any sort of money that as they're trying to. It's like throwing it down a big hole. It's ridiculous because of so much money involved with TikTok and so many levels. We got the Lovers reversed also. So very poor choices.
Poor
You know,
choices.
so it's just like it's just ridiculous. It's like no,
It's
it's
like us
stop.
becoming Brexit.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
UK for under Brexit.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the related headline that I pulled out of the New York Times. So the TikTok people, right? What do? They go to their TikTok creators,
Yeah.
who are many, and they said, "Can you fight this for us?" And they said yes. And they got 17 to 25-year-olds to pick up the phone and call their congressmen and senators and say, "Do not do this."
Oh yes. Oh
Yep.
yes.
This
You just
is-
give me the chills.
I don't know if that's more than the Swifties or if it's the same group and in a Venn diagram they just completely overlap. I don't know, but they
Yeah.
mobilized. They mobilized. So they
mobilized.
got a lot of pushback on this.
Yeah. I
So-
think they're going to be successful.
and the good
They're
part about
going to be
it is-
successful in stopping the ban.
Mhm.
Well,
It's
good part about it is that because these are such young people that are standing up and saying, hello, don't do this.
yeah.
And if they're successful at it, it's going to give them a little taste of what it is to be politically aware and politically active in their country.
Mhm.
If they don't like what's being done, if they don't like what the rules are, then by golly, you either pick up the phone and start raising hell with your congressman, or you run for the job
Mhm.
and you become the congressman.
Right. So another lesson that you can learn from TikTok.
Exactly.
Well,
What were you gonna
are the Democrats in on this also, or is this just a GOP
No,
thing?
just a GOP thing.
Yeah, I think it's the
There might be one or two
No, it's
Democrats.
both
that-
parties, with both parties eager to demonstrate a willingness to be tough on China. Bipartisan legislation to force the Chinese owners of the platform to divest, sell, or face a ban was moving forward. That was the headline. So it's bipartisan. And then I watched this on the news. I watched
Mhm.
various clips of kids on TikTok saying, "Don't do this." But you know what you have to realize is that the kids, some of them are the big businesses on TikTok.
Yes.
I mean, you have 16-year-old millionaires
Yes.
on
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
YouTube. I mean, you've got a very young demographic that is experiencing wealth like nobody's ever seen.
Yeah.
And they do have power because if they have 1 million followers, they'll get all their 1 million followers to do
Yes.
whatever.
Well, and how exactly do you ban it?
You block it at a high server level of coming into the United States, probably on the IP addresses or something.
Just talk to
Yeah.
North Korea. They know all about blocking shit. that
Yeah,
can't get
it's
in.
probably on the IP address. They probably just take a block of IP addresses that come into the United States and say, no, that can't go.
Hmm.
Just a firewall. It's a different firewall they create.
Well, I say good luck to that. Have we had that happen with anything yet on the internet where somebody was blocked and nobody could get through to it no matter what they did?
It's a secret, Cleo. They can't tell you.
Only in North Korea.
We'd have to kill you if we told you.
Yeah, I'm looking, Cleo, how dare you actually ask that question? Now they're going to be, now they're going to be subscribing to your channel so that they can stay in the know.
There must be, and of course I don't know what they are because they're banned here. So how would I know them? So
I just think that it's probably very difficult thing to do. And you know,
technology.
and even let's say they ban it in the United States, okay, fine. You know, there's a whole lot of other countries in the world besides us.
Yeah.
But also they have all of these VPNs that they sell where you can act like you're from another country so that you can get Netflix from the UK or you can get HBO from Europe or whatever. So why wouldn't you do the same thing with TikTok?
Well, it wants to stop the TikTok people to say, fine, go ahead, ban us, and then turn right around and make another TikTok, call it something else.
They probably have it ready to go already.
Yeah.
That's push the button. The minute that this
TikTok-y.
TikTok-y. And here's the kids. They're going to.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, they are so focused on the forest that they can't see the individual trees to see what's going on. And it's turning into a three-ring circus is what it's. I mean,
as usual.
I think what they like about this ban is that they can talk about it without having to talk about algorithms or anything that they used to talk about when Meta was Facebook and Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
When they started talking about those things, all of a sudden a bunch of geeks got in there and started talking about very technical stuff. I think with TikTok, because it comes from China, they think, well, nobody knows what those terms are. So nobody can talk about that. But we can just say TikTok over and over and over and over again. And you know, I think that's that's something appealing for them. It's easy for them to understand the name. Ridiculous. Okay. So, well, that was fun. Okay. So, okay. So I was going to do a question about the RNC after Lara Trump sort of takes over. I mean, has she taken over? Is she the person?
She has. She's already fired a ton of people.
Yeah. And
that were not Trumpian enough.
Yeah. So
is that like 1/3 of the staff or something?
1/3 of the staff.
I didn't know they had staff left because I thought they were already broke. I didn't think they had anything left, but apparently they did.
They're probably asking for money on TikTok.
They probably are. And if the people they fired had TikTok accounts, did they have to close their accounts or are they still there? Who knows?
That's a good question.
Well, what I want to know is come July 15th, which is the Republican convention, will the RNC still exist? Will it still be there?
Yeah.
Are you
Where
sure?
do you think it's going?
Under.
Down the toilet.
They have no money. They have no money. They owe money. What Ronna McDaniel was saying on her way out was, you know, here's our financial statements and we owe a whole bunch of money.
Oh.
A lot of money. A lot of money because they were paying Trump's legal bills up until, I believe, last October or November. And they didn't really get great donations in. And so go ahead, Val. What did you find out?
So, you know, they've got the devotees, the Donald Trump devotees that are left inside there, but they're going to go through a tunnel. And here's the thief stealing everything. And here's the end to the GOP, to the Republican Party. Boom. Just like that. It'll be a husk, an empty hull. Even the people that are part of it won't even want to be part of it anymore after watching it become the husk, the empty husk after the thief is done. I mean, you can't make these cards up.
No, you can't. And you know what I see? July 14th, I see Lara Trump with an old-fashioned bank deposit bag shaking down Walt for whatever's in his wallet so she can get an Uber back to the Trump's house. There's nothing there at all.
Wow.
She's a takedown artist, man.
Yeah.
No bones about it. And she puts on that little cute act like, yeah, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get, President Trump back in the White House. And
like there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Did you hear? They had a clip. I think it was on Alex Wagner. she was playing a clip.
Mhm.
She looks like $1 million. She looks like she spends 4 hours a day in
Yeah.
the gym. You know, the,
Yeah.
the teeth, the hair, the tan, the, big lips, the whole thing. She's saying, yeah, once we get this put back together, we can go back to one-day voting. We can go back to paper ballots. We can go back to, you just go into your polling place and do your vote right on one day. None of this early voting shit. None of this mail-in stuff. We just need to get Donald Trump back in the White House, give us a majority in the House and the Senate, and we're done. Then we can run the DOJ.
Frankly, isn't it more like we're done voting at all ever again? And we're just going to show up one time to just push the one button that says Trump. And
no need for voting machines
anymore. But then he'll shift it and they'll say every 8 years or every 16 years, or you won't have to vote at all. The king is in.
I think he'll do it right away. I think he'll do it right away. I don't think he'll be like Vladimir. I think he will just kind of go, okay, since you love me so much, no need to vote anymore.
Exactly.
And he'll dismantle everything. He'll dismantle everything.
You're right.
Pull the lovers, because they have willingly joined up with him.
Yeah.
And I covered up the bits so that we wouldn't get in trouble.
That's the best part.
I know. And they're so damn tiny, you need a microscope to see them. So, followed by the Ace of Wands. So, they think it's going to bring new growth, and it's not. I mean, basically, this is the Trump family just beating them over a head with a stick is what he's going to be doing with it. Followed with the Five of Wands, where they're just going to be what they're already doing. They're just beating the hell out of each other because they don't know who to trust, who to believe, which direction to go in. It's just really sad.
Yeah.
Funny, but sad.
Val, I have to say, I got the devotee as well.
Got it too. Yeah.
And your second card, what was your second card? Do you remember?
My second card was, oh gosh, no, I can't remember.
I got punch, so it related to yours.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hoping for a big golden egg, but it's not going to happen.
No.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we need. That's the sound effect we need.
It is.
Oh man.
Womp, womp.
Just so sad. But
all we have is this.
That's right. As long as we have this, I can't do it. Oh shit.
Wait a minute.
Cover up my
baby. I'm trying to do it right, but I'm a novice.
And Lisa Ann said the second card was the Reaper. Well, of course the Reaper's going to punch.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Gonna reap.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
I could use my fan that's made in China.
Nice. It has a nice wax to it, Shari. Oh well. Okay. Are we up for another question? Here we go. So I saw somebody in the chat mention this article too. So thank you, person in the chat who also reads the either WAPO or the New York Times. You probably read. So Kushner, you may remember him from when he was in the White House. Donald Trump's son-in-law. In the article, they said, who was also a senior White House official. Who doesn't know that? Said he's close to finalizing real estate projects in Albania and Serbia. Mr. Kushner's plans in the Balkans appear to have come about in part through relationships built while Mr. Trump was in office. What a surprise! Mr. Kushner, who was a senior White House official, you already said that, said he's been working on the deals with Richard Grenell, who served briefly as acting director of national intelligence. But I didn't think they were supposed to have like emoluments when
they're not supposed to have emoluments.
So someday this article is going to be Exhibit 1A in a lawsuit against Kushner.
Yes.
Anyway, blah, 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 blah. One of the proposed projects would be the development of an island off the coast of Albania into a luxury tourist destination. A second, with a planned luxury hotel and 1,500 residential units and a museum, is in Belgrade, the capital of Serbia, at the site of the long vacant former headquarters of the Yugoslav army, destroyed in 1999 by the NATO bombings, according to a member of parliament in Serbia and Mr. Kushner's company. Are you kidding me? I mean, you might as well have said that we're doing a Airbnb at Buchenwald, you know? I mean...
This is what, because this is what happens. He did this in Turkey. You act like you're going to build a Trump Tower. You negotiate everything. You get every investment from the city, from whatever, and you do all these deals, and people give you money, but you don't build it. So they went on this big tour of where it's supposed to be. And this is like 5 years later, and it's still not there. So they don't build. They just take investment money and they never build. So this is the grift that you may not realize is going on. So they don't care that the land is in the middle of Timbuktu or any of that. That's not even in question. It's getting the investors and the grift going. But, you know, here's Kushner. He's got the smoke and mirrors going up. He's bulldozing everyone with the bull lone knee, not going to bulldoze the foundation. He's going to resurrect himself. But you know what? He's going to end up sinking like a rock because he's going to get ghosted by everyone he knows over all of this, because it's going to come to light that he's not supposed to be profiting from having had his office, you know, in the White House and all of that role that he played. So yeah, it's about grifting. It isn't building a building.
So is this what he's doing with the $2 billion from the Saudi prince?
No, the $2 billion from the Saudi prince are already in his coffers somewhere in another country, probably the Caribbean. This is another grift with new investors.
Oh,
it's a multi-layer scheme. You don't keep doing this, using that. You never use the money. You just take the grift, go to the next one, make a whole new thing, get the grift. They've got it.
It's the world's largest Ponzi scheme. It's
the largest Ponzi, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. The largest Ponzi scheme you could come up with. And I saw that, and the minute I started seeing what was happening.
The buildings that Kushner does own
no,
are not habitable. The people that live in them
they're
living in the most deplorable conditions in the world. It's like you would think they were in a third world country somewhere, not in the US of A.
Yep.
He's got blood on his hands, and it's going to come clean.
Yeah.
Him and his little wifey poo both. Because he's a freaking weirdo, man. I swear. He looks like a mannequin to me if you ask me about it. And again, the circus comes back up. P.T. Barnum is really making his case tonight. It's all a freaking three-ring circus. Every single bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gerald is in for big trouble. Big trouble.
Oh,
You know, it sounds like he's wheeling and dealing and doing stuff, but like you've all said, that he's not supposed to be making money and profiting from whatever it is he did for the White House or whatever he was involved in there. And didn't his dad get into a lot of trouble and end up in prison?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
His dad was in prison. Yeah.
He's headed down the same road.
Yep. I've said this.
It was the same kind of Ponzi scheme kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's been trained well.
Yep. Runs in the family, kind of.
Runs in
Yeah.
the family.
Gerald, what you got?
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah. This guy is just disgraceful. So, all right. So I'm going to jump to this one. The headline that says Trump's court delays pile up while the presidential race gathers speed. And then we find out that Alvin Bragg has said, oh, possibly we could delay this for 30 days because now they have something like 31,000 pages to go through that was released amazingly by the DOJ just 2 weeks before they're supposed to go to trial. That is so stinky, that whole thing. What do we think happened with that? Why did it? I mean, yes, I've listened to the news 4 million times and I've heard all the stories about, Trump did this and he waited too long. And then Alvin Bragg tried to do that and he didn't get all the things he was asking for and yada, yada, yada. Okay. But what really was, why? Why was the person holding it back? Who was greasing whose palm?
Can I just simply say, without having to throw any cards on it, the minute I read this story, the first thing that popped into my head was these were some of Trump's people that he still got scattered throughout the government who sat on stuff and said, no, we can't. We need to make sure this stays tucked away so that when it gets down to push comes to shove, we can, look what we found.
Yeah.
That's what you were asking for last year.
And I have to say, yeah, here's the moon and the sunken ship. So he really was this person. As soon as I'm just like Shari, I heard it, and that's immediately what I got.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to.
My vision is the guy is sitting at his desk, and underneath his foot is a banker's box, and he's looking up at the guy in the door and saying, I don't know. I don't have anything else. I think we give him everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no, all this postponing and drawing things out and stuff, that's just going to keep happening. More than likely, I suppose he'll get away with some of it. But in the end, it's not, even that is not going to help him. But it's right now, it's boosting his ego. Trump, I'm talking about, that he'll be sitting around thinking, oh yeah, things are finally going my way. Just about the time we're all looking around thinking, how could this all happen? Some weird thing's going to just explode. It's just going to backfire. There's going to be a huge, big backfire, and it's coming probably this summer. But in the meantime, just be prepared for all these goofy headlines about how they're moving this out and that out, and they're not going to have any hearings. Yes, I mean it's just so cattywampus and so chaotic that's why this last week I just chose not to read all about this stuff because it would just irritate the hell out of me. So rather than being irritated, I just know that just expect this weirdness to keep coming out and them looking around like, oh, look what Trump did. Oh, look, he's winning. He's winning in court. He's not winning in court. We already know he's a rapist. We already know that he paid off a porn star, a prostitute, basically. Yeah. We already know that he has lied about so many things that we can't keep up with the lies, and they get intermixed with the truth. And so, the mega people want to believe the lies. Everybody else has got their head screwed on straight. Just keep your eyes on Biden. Don't keep your eyes on Trump.
And I have to agree with you 1,000,000%, Cleo, because I think this is all going to come crashing down. There's going to be one point in the future, but we just have to sit through all this rhetoric and baloney and try not to let it rile us up and pay attention to it, because it's not going to mean a hill of beans, because whatever is going to come for Trump is going to crash it all down. So, yeah.
And I just saw on YouTube day before yesterday, the new trailer for the movie about Stormy Daniels and this whole mess. And she's being featured as the hero in this story and the one that got screwed over all the way, for just doing what she does. I mean, it's not my thing, but hey.
And that movie is mentioned in Trump's papers, and one of the reasons he wants the case dismissed.
Yeah.
He actually mentioned the movie.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it. Gerald, did you have something you wanted to add in? Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, I mean, I keep the cards I'm pulling is a lot of things that are going on right now are just to distract people from the truth. So it's enough of the bait and switch. Find your facts. Find your facts from legit resources. Do all of these things, because I have the Eight of Swords, because
Again,
this is one of those things, and I have been slightly distracted by I'm looking at some stuff about TikTok, trying to go, okay, what's going on with that? And you have to check multiple resources to find as close to the truth as you can. Stuff is so buried. We have to, it's so important that we stay enthused about finding the truth. And we cannot get overburdened with the crap that is being put out there. All of this stuff is distracting us from what is necessary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Use your brain, people.
Yeah.
Use your brain, and check multiple sources.
Yes.
And don't just go to one. I mean, I used to work in a library, and you always you check multiple places, and you find out to make sure it's true. So, and I'm like going, so, but it's. I think this is the key thing is if we do that, yes, it takes time. Yes, you have to turn off your television and actually read information and then process it yourself. Do not let yourself be drawn off what's really necessary. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was very good, Gerald. Thank you. Yeah, I think being very discerning when you read things is so important, because the headlines and even the text says one thing, but if you read things very, very carefully,
They twist it.
They are twisting it. So you cannot, when you're reading things and you're kind of assuming things as you mush the ideas together, that's not good. So you need to read it from another source, even if it's, Washington Post and New York Times, who are both very kind of, I don't know, stodgy kind of points of view. But if you read the two different articles on the same topic, you'll hear different things. So,
and sometimes the topic isn't even related to what the article's really talking about.
Well, that's true
Just
too.
come on to get you to click.
It's clickbait. Yeah.
Clickbait.
Do that too. I mean, they're on the internet now. They're not relying on print to make money. They're relying on the internet to make money.
For goodness sake, use your tiny hands and do your research, people.
Read past the first paragraph.
Read past the first paragraph and keep reading it.
Oh, way past paragraph. I can't. Just makes me nuts when people don't do that. I just say, no. Read the whole damn thing. Whoops.
Oh, you lost your hand. Oh no. I hope that's not a metaphor for.
That was too funny.
Where did my hand go?
It flew over your shoulder and went backwards.
Oh my God. That was hilarious.
That was funny.
Oh my God. Well, and that tees us up for this last thing. I don't even know if there's a question here, but
does it matter?
Not really. I just wanted to share with everybody that I hope I can say this with a straight face, that subterranean baby dragons are revealed to sneak to the surface. So let me show you. Let me put that up on the screen. And here we go. Maybe I can get that off. Can I get that to go off? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here's the picture. Let me share entire screen. There we go. Okay. So in the New York Times, they were talking about these little dragons that have come up to the surface from Italy, I think somebody said. I don't know. Sorry, I got to go past the picture to
Italy.
See the article.
Italy.
Yeah, scientists have discovered that blind cave salamanders in northern Italy leave their underground homes to go on expeditions to the surface. Eyeless and ghostly pale from millions of years spent below ground, the salamanders appear to commute back and forth to the sunny surface using springs where water bubbles up from hundreds of feet deep. Very cool. They're called olms, and they were once believed to be baby dragons.
Aw.
They're about the length of a banana.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
probably not good to eat because they're too tiny. Olms have eel-like bodies and spindly legs. Their faces are featureless except for a crown of frilly pink gills. Let me go down and see if you can see that. Can you see the gills?
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
that's a plant. I don't think that's part of the gill. And let's see. When olms hatch, their eyes are quickly covered with skin, leaving them blind. They navigate their dark world by sensing vibrations, chemicals in the water, and magnetic fields. I bet there's a way that we could get them to help us test for things in water. You know that? They can sense vibrations, chemicals in the water, and magnetic fields. I think that's
Wow.
fascinating. Okay.
And considering where they found these at, and no offense to the Italians or the French, because I am French, we might want to keep an eye on the poor little things before they become a delicacy on the menu in all the cafes. So, you know.
Yeah, well, they'd be, it would be like serving a pickle. I mean, they're very tiny. They're very, very tiny. This whole thing is the size of a normal banana. So
It's funny. The card I pulled for this is about the magnetic field that directs them, and I got the compass.
Yeah.
So they're really coming up because there's something to do with their fertilization of their eggs. There's something in their cycle that makes them come up.
Uh-huh.
And they definitely have the magnetic pull.
Yeah.
There's something going on with them.
Yeah.
That is different than normal.
Like the turtles on the Galapagos, that come up on the beach and hatch. And
like that.
Yeah. And then all the little baby turtles run back to the ocean. How do they know?
They have to make it. They have to try and make it back. Yeah.
Or salmon going upstream. Doesn't matter where they are. They're going north, going up. It's
exactly.
Crazy. Yeah. Oh, wow. Good. Well, we cured the world wars and everything. Now we're at peace. Good. Okay. I wanted to get that out of my.
Our job is done today.
I've lost a hand. Okay. I can do what I want.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. This was great. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or read on or anything?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Did we give anybody in the chat? Well, I did answer that one thing the guy wanted to talk about, Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Hello to everybody in the chat, and sorry that none of us spoke to you.
But I have really been enjoying what the chatters have to say over here. They're just, they're so knowledgeable.
They're on point.
They totally contribute. And I just love what they're coming up with.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff.
Oh, here's one I can address. Can you explain why Vedic astrologers see dumping winning it? All the Vedic astrologers also saw him winning the first time that he actually won. And then they saw him winning it again in 2020. And now they're seeing it again. I think the reason that they see it is because in his chart, the planets in his chart connect very, very tightly with the planets in the United States chart. Scary, crazy, creepy, yes, but almost exact. And he was born on an eclipse, and most big leaders and a lot of megalomaniacs and narcissists are born on an eclipse. So he's got that energy of kind of a king, or at least, and he fuels that with his weird narcissism, but he's got that energy and he believes. I mean, you have to admit the guy can manifest like crazy.
He has that.
Worse. I mean, I had a brother like this. He could manifest anything that he wanted. And he wasn't necessarily a sweet guy. He was kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
But he could manifest like nobody's business. And what it was really all about was his ego, him believing in him.
Yeah.
Just believes in himself, and he believes that he can do these things, and he has the connections to the United States. So I do not think that he's going to physically be able to even be around, or maybe not even alive at the time of the election. So I don't think that there's a good chance that he's going to be president. I can check the inauguration day. That's always a good sign. You check their charts at the election, or not the election, the inaugural date.
Mhm.
And if they don't connect to the midheaven of the United States chart, then they didn't make it as the president.
Oh, interesting.
you can check things like that. They have to have some connection there. It doesn't have to be the same kind of connection, but they have to have a connection there or they won't win. And Vedic astrology doesn't look at things in quite the same way.
Yeah.
They look at arrangements of planets and fixed stars, and that's as much as I know about Vedic astrology. But I remember that for the 2016 election, I really was listening to this one astrologer, a Vedic astrologer, and she just had me convinced that Trump was going to win. I was just like, no, that cannot be. I don't want that to be. And she was actually really right. But then I heard them saying the same stuff for 2020, and clearly he didn't win.
I was just curious the other day about Vedic astrology, and I found out your rising sign is different, your sun sign is different, and your moon is different.
Yeah, because
it's a different system.
It's a different system.
Yeah.
Gerald, you want to explain what the differences are with sidereal and tropical?
27 degree difference, and
what I understand is the idea of the with the sidereal or true sidereal, it is based upon what constellations are in the sky or actually above. It's not calculated as the Western astrology or the tropical. So it's looking up instead of necessarily doing the calculations. So
that's basically it. Yeah. So what it comes out to is it's about 23 degrees right now. It's about 23 degrees different. Just in general, it's skewed about 23 degrees. And so they're using the true measurements, and I don't know exactly how we're getting at our measurements, but there's a logarithm that you have to use to make an adjustment for the time that you're in, the latitude or the longitude that your birthplace falls into, and then the movement of the planets that day. So there's a logarithm. Yeah, there's a logarithm that you have to use to make that differential. And I don't think the Vedics have to do quite as much of that. They still use computers though to do theirs, so theirs is complex too. So it's just a little bit different way of looking at it, and so it ends up that things are different by 23 degrees right now. And as we move along in our century, eventually it'll be 24 degrees different, and then maybe 50 years or so it'll be 26 degrees or whatever. But right now it's at 23 degrees.
I've noticed that, the thing with Trump and Biden, that everybody's saying, or at least in this group, is going to say that Biden's going to win, Trump's going to lose. And we've been saying this for months. And there's been a lot of psychics on here that say that. But then I've been noticing a couple of shows that have come up recently where they're saying, are we being too sure of something that could flip? Could Trump actually end up winning? And the people that I was watching, for one, was Susan Lin, and she said, no, we're not being. She totally disagreed. But that was an astrologer that was saying that, saying, I'm just wondering, because we've been through similar things before, and it didn't go our way, meaning Hillary Clinton. And so I still think, we need to stay on top of this and not just assume that because everybody's saying that that's what's going to happen. We have to keep an open mind and really see, because it's such a crazy, the voters that are wanting to vote for Trump, to me, I just dismiss them because they're so crazy to want to do that. They don't really have a solid, it's kind of like, because I say I want to, I'm just going to stick to my guns because Trump, he's going to really help us. And I'm thinking, well, at what point did he really help you? And nobody wants to go through that because there is no real help. And so I'm just saying, I love thinking about that it's going to be Biden, that it's going to be all Democrat, that we're going to turn the world around for ourselves or the country around for ourselves. But we need to always stay on top of this with, when some astrologers see it differently, we need to find, we need to look into what are they talking about.
Well, I totally agree. Just that we get ourselves out there and vote. But I think there's two things that are going to drive us over the top, no matter what. And that's the women's issues, women's reproductive rights, and the fact that they want to cut Social Security. I don't even know if that's on anybody's radar.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
But it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, he is going to have one of these cases actually before the election. It's going to go, and he's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
But it all comes back down to free will, and you got to get out and vote. I just read an article yesterday, and I don't know if it was the federal house or if it was a state house in one of the states, where they're trying to pass a bill that would outlaw contraception of any and all forms. That would include condoms.
Oh, God.
I just want to speak to the imbecility. Is that the word? I'm going to make it one in the dictionary. Because cut your nose off to spite your face makes perfect sense here.
Jesus. Haven't they just developed a birth control that's going to be over the counter? Yes. There's an over-the-counter birth control pill.
There absolutely is. There are Plan B or something like that. So there's all
the
kinds
only
of
problem they've had with over-the-counter birth control is that a lot of women can't afford it if it's not on their insurance or Medicaid plans, where it's free.
Well, but at least they're talking about providing birth control or without a prescription, without a doctor's visit, whatever. I don't know how it works. I haven't looked into it, but I just saw that and I went, Yahoo, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I'm just saying,
and it should cost like $2.
Yes.
Like it should,
exactly.
it should cost the price of that stupid little cardboard box that it's going to come in.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That's how it should work. But who knows?
So the don't forget, go out and vote. Go out and vote no matter what. You must vote. You must vote. And all those young people who aren't hearing this, go tell your grandchildren who are going to turn 18 or, of a voting age. What is our voting age? 21? 18. Go tell them to vote and vote. Well, okay. Tell them to vote. That's all you need to do.
Or better yet, go on TikTok and tell them to vote. Because they're all on TikTok. Yeah, just go on TikTok.
Because the young people are going to come out and they are going to be a big force.
They're going to be huge. They're going to be huge.
And
I love it every time I hear them saying, well, some younger voters are going against Biden because of Israel. Are there that many kids under the age of 20 that know what's going on?
Get your facts.
Some of them do, some of them don't. But a lot of them are.
You're getting that from a colleague's 15-year-old who doesn't know anything but what mama and daddy tell them at this point.
No, they know what TikTok tells them. I don't think they're
exactly. They have their own.
TikTok.
They've already cut the apron strings. They pulled away and they're on TikTok, and then they know what TikTok tells them.
Well, and they don't realize that Biden is just as upset as they are. I mean, he can only do so much. It's not our war. It's Gaza. It's it's a Middle East. It's something different. And he is doing what he can. So don't blame Biden for it. But I understand that they're frustrated. They've lost family members through a horrible war. And so they want to blame somebody. And Biden is the most easy, accessible person because he's president to blame. But Biden is not to blame. Biden is doing whatever he can
He's not president of the world. He's president of the United States.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, the article that talked about him praising Chuck Schumer's speech against, Netanyahu and asking for an election to take Netanyahu out of office. In the speech, he specifically said, he's not going to speak for or against Schumer. He's just going to praise what Schumer said, and he's not going to do an additional speech. I thought that was unnecessary of him to say that. And that leads me to believe that he's teeing up another super sleuth Joe Biden special where he goes behind the scenes and he does some sort of tricky dick negotiations. He's done how many has he done this last year? Think about the things and the Ukraine. He did another thing for Ukraine last week too. I didn't even mention that nobody had to vote on. He just found $400 billion for them somewhere. But I think he's going to do another thing like that, but to help God. I mean, he put the peer in for the, I think he's going to do another thing like that that's really going to help. And I think that might get the attention of some younger voters. Yeah, Gerald, talk.
No, I'm following chat. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Because I think, it isn't wise of them to ignore the youth vote, but a lot of the youth vote is with him. But there are those that are really upset about Israel. And I don't blame them. I'm upset about Israel too. I think Netanyahu is an idiot. Entertainment purposes only. But, I think the president is getting ready to do some sort of little, one of his Dark Brandon specials.
Well, and Taylor Swift has come out and said that, that has encouraged all her Swifties to get out there and vote, but she is not saying one way or the other yet.
Right, because that would be wrong, though.
That's the one thing is they blame her, and it's like she's been very, very.
You don't want to stare. You just want to say vote your conscience.
Yeah.
And this woman, she realizes what a huge platform she has.
Yes.
She realizes that if she said, go vote for Biden, pretty much everything would be over.
Yeah.
And she knows that she just, or maybe she just doesn't want to be responsible.
She's not going to misuse the platform.
She's the one that said vote for Biden in 2020.
Yeah, but that was 2020. She's even bigger now.
Well, I'm just saying that's where she's at, and that's where she's going this time. She's not going to get.
Yeah,
she made no bones about who she
into this to say to younger people, I'm voting for Biden, you should too. I don't think she's going to do that yet. I think she'll be a little more sneaky about it.
Yeah.
Plus, she's got this thing going on with her boyfriend and stuff. She's busy. She's doing all these concerts, and they just released her movie out on Disney Plus and stuff. She's a busy woman. So
and also,
the MAGA keeps coming after her.
Yeah,
it's crazy. That's just
terrifying.
I think she's very cognizant of the fact that the country is very, very divided and polarized right now. She does not want to be a part of that. She doesn't want to endanger herself, her crew, her friends, her family. She doesn't want anybody in danger. Right. So I think that's another reason she's trying to be just vote and not really say. But you know how the like celebrities and the music people all do it. Like about a month before, 2 months, like after Labor Day, they all come out. So once Jay-Z and Beyonce are coming out going, "Yay, Biden,"
then you'll know they've got the seal of approval.
Well, they probably share bodyguards at that point. They're probably like, we just have an army of 500 bodyguards and we just disperse them as needed, because that's what they need, that's what they really need. Oh, okay. Again, we just got through everything. This is great. This is better than a workout. Okay. So thank you for coming and playing PoliTarology with me. I think my sister's probably having to let the dog out or something. I'll wait till she comes back to finally say goodbye. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for your readings. Thank you for being here with me and playing PoliTarology. That's always good. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you
for the invitation.
Thank you for being here, Shari. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Cleo. Thank you, Gerald. And I really
I just had to shut the blinds because the sun was coming in. And look at the sun. I got to worry about the sun. Yay, spring's almost here.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's great. I'm really happy for you. And I just wanted to say to the people who are watching, I really want to get to 5,000 subscribers by March 21st. Not that I'm begging.
And I only need 3 more to hit 2,000.
Aw.
Three people.
Oh,
Make
yeah,
it
come
5,
on.
and then it's
First
over.
thing.
Okay. So I wish you all thousands of subscribers, and I wish you all in the chat all your questions get answered and all your dreams come true. And we will see you.
Subscribe and share to everybody.
That's right. And we will see you in 2 weeks. And let me cue everything up here so I can really be ready for everything. Thank you so much for joining us for PoliTarology.